Hello everyone, para hadirin sekalian yang kami hormati, kami mohon untuk berdiri. Bersama-sama kami akan menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask you to please rise and be on your feet. And together, let us sing Indonesia's national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Hadirin sekalian dipersilakan untuk duduk kembali. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Startup Studio Indonesia's Milestone. Nama saya Amelia Yahya dan saya senang sekali bisa berada di sini untuk menjadi MC di acara yang sangat bermanfaat ini. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so incredibly proud and so very happy and honored to be here, to be a part of this incredible day, especially with a crowd of your caliber. Selamat datang kepada coaches dan venture capital dan juga perwakilan-perwakilan kementerian yang telah hadir pada hari ini. Dan pastinya juga selamat datang kepada 20 startup batch 1 Startup Studio Indonesia. Bapak Ibu sekalian yang kami cintai, as we all know, the Ministry of Communication and Informatics has continued to relentlessly support and help the tech empowerment programs here in Indonesia. And after initiating the previous national 1,000 startup digital movement and also the next Indonesia Unicorn, the ministry now presents Startup Studio Indonesia for early stage startups. Nah, harapannya yaitu startup yang difasilitasi dapat mengembangkan skala bisnisnya dengan lebih cepat dan juga lebih efektif lagi dengan beragam dukungan yang berfokus pada akselerasi produk dan tim dan juga validasi strategi fundraising, strategi growth marketing, technology development support dan tentunya juga menajamkan business skills mereka. Nah, ladies and gentlemen, from 668 apps received from 32 provinces across Indonesia, they have chosen 20 startups, only among the best of the best, creme de la creme. And these chosen ones are Agenkan, ByteShip, Career Support, and Feedloop, Halofina, Jejakin, Justika, and Keypack, Larik Tech, Muda, Nektiko, Payo Kepasar, PTSSC, Rakamin Academy, Reko Systems, Scoters, Tumbasin, Ferry Hubs, Water Hub, and last but not least, also Woobiz. Then the startups were chosen based on their effectivity, and also on their potential, relevansi solusi terhadap sektor industri, serta diferensiasi dan faktor lokalitas juga. And starting from the 5th of October 2020 until the 26th of November 2020, these 20 startups have participated in incredible and amazing programs that consist of founders camp, brainstorming sessions, one-on-one mentoring, as well as networking. And now, last but not least, it is today, the milestone day. To start our day, it is only with the greatest pleasure and honor that we shall welcome the Minister of Communication and Informatics of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Bapak Johnny G. Plate, to deliver his keynote speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera bagi kita sekalian. Yang saya hormati dan banggakan para founders, mentors, dan fasilitator Startup Studio Indonesia di seluruh penjuru Nusantara. Pertama-tama saya ingin mengucapkan selamat bagi 20 startup digital yang telah berhasil menjadi finalis Startup Studio Indonesia. Apresiasi ini saya sampaikan untuk Anda-Anda sekalian yang telah merintis dan membangun serta mengembangkan ide dari sektor yang berbeda untuk mendukung ekonomi digital di Indonesia. Startup Studio Indonesia adalah sebuah program pengembangan startup digital intensif yang diselenggarakan oleh Kementerian Komunikasi dan Informatika. Program ini menyediakan akses mentoring dan networking bagi para pegiat startup digital nasional yang ingin mengembangkan usahanya. Inisiatif program ini sejalan dengan mandat dari Presiden Bapak Joko Widodo untuk melakukan akselerasi transformasi digital, di mana salah satu arahannya adalah penyediaan talenta atau SDM digital yang berkualitas. Studi yang dilakukan oleh Tan and Tang dan disadur dalam laporan Bank Dunia menyebutkan bahwa Indonesia membutuhkan rata-rata 600.000 SDM digital setiap tahunnya. Di sisi lain, riset Daily Social tahun 2019 menyatakan bahwa isu ketersediaan talenta digital menjadi kunci bagi perkembangan industri startup digital di Indonesia, di samping isu ketersediaan akses pendanaan. Berangkat dari permasalahan tersebut, program Startup Studio Indonesia hadir untuk memfasilitasi startup digital yang berada di titik awal atau early stage untuk mendapatkan pelatihan pengembangan kapasitas dan juga akses terhadap venture capital lokal maupun global. Para pegiat startup digital yang tergabung akan dikumpulkan secara daring selama 3 bulan. Untuk memperoleh sesi bimbingan dan konsultasi langsung dari para pakar di industri ini, agar pegiat startup digital siap untuk mendapatkan pendanaan yang memadai. Program Startup Studio Indonesia didasarkan pada semangat kolaboratif antara peserta maupun para mentor. Program ini dapat berjalan dengan baik atas hasil kolaborasi antara pemerintah, pegiat startup digital, praktisi, akademisi, dan juga para penanam modal ventura di industri ini. Tajuk utama Startup Studio Indonesia adalah More Brainstorming, Less Classes. Sehingga kami berharap melalui diskusi berbobot dengan para mentor, para finalis dapat mengembangkan skala bisnisnya, mulai dari aspek fundraising, growth marketing, hingga teknologi development. Para pegiat startup digital Indonesia yang saya banggakan, saya juga ingin menggunakan kesempatan kali ini untuk menghaturkan rasa bangga saya atas peran strategis startup digital dalam memajukan perekonomian Indonesia. Atas ide dan kecermatan Anda, pegiat startup digital, dalam memanfaatkan solusi digital dalam merintis usaha, masyarakat Indonesia telah merasakan berbagai kemudahan dalam berbagai aspek, mulai dari perekonomian digital, pendidikan, kesehatan, pengembangan UMKM ultramikro, hingga sistem keuangan digital. Terlebih di masa pandemi, kehadiran startup digital telah menyediakan jawaban bagi penyediaan kebutuhan pokok masyarakat di tengah masa pembatasan fisik dan sosial ini. Untuk itu, saya menaruh harapan dan optimisme yang besar untuk melihat kemajuan industri startup digital di Indonesia di masa yang akan datang. Harapan ini akan diikuti oleh komitmen Kementerian Kominfo untuk terus mendukung terciptanya ekosistem startup digital yang kuat dan memadai melalui pembangunan infrastruktur TIK, adopsi teknologi, pengembangan talenta digital, hingga percepatan dan penyempurnaan regulasi. Sekali lagi, saya ingin mengucapkan selamat belajar dan berjuang bagi finalis Startup Studio Indonesia. Negara menanti kontribusi aktif Anda dalam mengembangkan industri startup digital di tanah air, dalam menyongsong masyarakat digital Indonesia yang maju, adil, dan bermartabat. Dan jangan lupa untuk terus melaksanakan protokol kesehatan, memakai masker, mencuci tangan pakai sabun, dan menjaga jarak agar kesehatan pulih, ekonomi bangkit. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om.
We'd like to thank you, Your Excellency, Bapak Joni G. Plate, for always making sure that support is given and pushed to the eager, great tech minds of Indonesia. Bapak, thank you so much for your leadership and for your support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us also welcome the Director General of the Ministry of Communication and Informatics of the Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Samuel Abrijani Pangarepan, to deliver his remarks.
Pastikan kita selalu menjalankan protokol kesehatan dengan menggunakan masker dan menjaga jarak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Terima kasih pada para undangan yang telah hadir pada Milestone Day dari Startup Studio Indonesia batch pertama. Pada kesempatan ini saya ingin bercerita tentang visi transformasi digital Indonesia. Indonesia adalah negara dengan populasi terbesar keempat di dunia. Saat ini kita menduduki peringkat ke-16 sebagai negara dengan GDP tertinggi dan diprediksi akan mencapai peringkat ke-5 pada tahun 2030. Indonesia adalah market yang besar dengan tingkat penggunaan media sosial yang tinggi. Sebuah inovasi yang viral akan dengan cepat diadopsi. Namun kita tidak puas hanya menjadi market. Indonesia memiliki potensi yang besar untuk menjadi produsen teknologi dunia. Potensi itu adalah keberagaman. Keberagaman kita berasal dari 746 bahasa, 1128 suku yang tersebar di 17.504 pulau. Keberagaman adalah sumber dari inovasi. Di beberapa negara, keberagaman dirancang, dikondisikan. Di Indonesia, keberagaman itu adalah anugerah. Itu semua adalah bahan bakar untuk memantik inovasi. Hari ini, Indonesia memiliki 1 dekakorn, 5 unicorn, dan puluhan centaur. Itu masih akan terus bertambah dan pertambahannya akan lebih cepat. Saya percaya inovasi hanya akan dapat tumbuh cepat dalam ekosistem yang tepat. Untuk menciptakan ekosistem yang tepat, pemerintah Indonesia mendorong transformasi digital dalam 3 elemen esensial, yaitu pemerintahan, ekonomi, dan masyarakat. Ketiga elemen tersebut dibingkai dalam framework Indonesia Digital Nation. Sebagai pondasi, ada infrastruktur teknologi dan aplikasi. Dalam aspek infrastruktur teknologi, pemerintah tengah menyelesaikan pembangunan BTS untuk koneksi 4G di seluruh Indonesia. Selain itu, Indonesia juga memiliki satelit untuk memfasilitasi daerah yang sulit terjangkau. Lalu aplikasi. Indonesia adalah mobile first atau bisa dibilang mobile only country. Kami mengupayakan agar semua layanan dari pemerintah dapat diakses dalam genggaman tangan. Kemudian ada pilar-pilar yang menjaga agar sesuai dengan arah dan tujuan negara. Pertama, regulasi dan kebijakan. Tahun ini salah satu regulasi yang kami sedang rampungkan adalah terkait pelindungan data pribadi. Dengan adanya regulasi tersebut, negara hadir dalam melindungi hak warga negara Indonesia di dunia digital. Bagi elemen pemerintahan, kami menyiapkan kebijakan terkait penyimpanan dan pengelolaan data. Bagi elemen bisnis, kami mengupayakan penyederhanaan proses dalam pendirian usaha. Kemudian pilar kedua adalah keamanan dan pengendalian. Cepatnya adopsi teknologi belum tentu diiringi dengan kecakapan literasi digital. Untuk itu, perlu adanya usaha bersama meminimalisasi dampak negatif yang dapat ditemui masyarakat di internet. Pilar ketiga, SDM digital. Untuk poin ini, Kominfo memiliki program siberkreasi yang fokus melakukan literasi digital, lalu ada Digital Talent Scholarship, program meningkatkan keterampilan digital yang dibutuhkan industri. Pilar keempat, riset dan inovasi teknologi. Dalam poin ini ada 6 sektor strategis yang menjadi fokus utama, yaitu agriculture, maritim, kesehatan, pendidikan, logistik, dan pariwisata. Pondasi dan pilar tersebut kami harapkan dapat menjadi ekosistem ideal bagi pertumbuhan pemerintahan digital, masyarakat digital, dan ekonomi digital. Ketiga elemen esensial tersebut harus saling berkolaborasi dan menunjang satu sama lain. Dalam mendukung pertumbuhan aspek bisnis digital, salah satu upaya yang dilakukan Kementerian Kominfo adalah menjalankan 3 program pembinaan dan fasilitasi dengan target startup yang berbeda-beda, yaitu Gerakan Nasional 1000 Startup Digital, Nexicon, dan Startup Studio Indonesia. Hari ini, rangkaian Startup Studio Indonesia batch pertama telah mencapai tahap akhir, yaitu Milestone Day. Perjalanan para 20 startup terpilih selama 2 bulan terakhir ini telah menjadi sebuah pengalaman yang menantang, tidak hanya bagi para startup, coach, tim penyelenggara, tapi juga bagi Kementerian Kominfo. Dalam 51 hari, telah ada 360 sesi coaching yang kami fasilitasi dengan 80 coach yang merupakan founder startup dan expert teknologi. Minggu lalu, saya dan tim Kementerian Kominfo telah melakukan beberapa FGD untuk memetakan kebutuhan jejaring dari 20 startup kepada kementerian dan lembaga terkait. Kami percaya inovasi yang dikembangkan oleh para founder ini akan dapat membawa dampak baik yang masif jika dapat dikolaborasikan dengan pihak-pihak strategis. Dalam Milestone Day, kami harap Anda yang menyaksikan dapat ikut menyebarkan kabar baik dari inovasi yang para founder ciptakan atau bahkan ikut mendukung pengembangannya. Terakhir, saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada para pihak yang telah mendukung terlaksananya program Startup Studio Indonesia. Semoga perjuangan para 20 startup ini akan membawa banyak manfaat bagi proses transformasi digital bangsa, membuka banyak lapangan pekerjaan baru, dan membawa ekosistem digital Indonesia ke level berikutnya. Startup Studio Indonesia, go the extra mile. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om.
Terima kasih Bapak Samuel. Thank you so much for your passion and for your support. And now ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the peak of the day, and that is main event kita, yaitu startup presentations. Let us first say hello to the founders. We got Feedloop first. Hi guys. I hope everyone's doing well.
Hi.
Hi, hello. Okay guys, you may now present your presentation.
Hello, I'm Rizky, co-founder of Feedloop. We are in the era where businesses need to digital transform in order to be able to compete locally and even more globally. The challenge for businesses to do so is the lack of talents, because not every company has the financial capability to recruit high-profile tech talents like VC-funded big startups. And of course, they need to think about cost effectivity of executing such transformation. Feedloop aims to democratize access to modern enterprise-grade business platform that help companies to digitalize and automate variety of internal business processes ranging from staff management to warehouse management, giving businesses increased visibility, measurability, and productivity. And by doing so, help businesses to run more effectively. Through our local platform, we provide the Lego building blocks for businesses to rapidly develop internal tools that is tailored to their business needs. Compared to alternative solution, we can reduce up to 75% of the cost and deploy 5 times faster while maintaining agility and adaptivity of the solution to business changes. With our subscription-based model, our platform grows with your businesses with minimal upfront investment and scalable pricing depending on your size. We are building a network of partners that can help you customize and build tailored solutions for your business.
Thank you very much, Fitlu, for the excellent presentation. And our next one, we got Jejakin. Let's say hello first. Hello, founders. Jejakin, I hope you guys are doing well.
Yes, hello.
Hi, okay,
Very good. How are
Jejakin.
you?
We're all very well here, and we're so excited to be hearing your presentation. So take it away.
Hi, I'm Arfan, the CEO and founder of Jejakin. We provide access for everyone to do carbon offset. We also provide a visibility and reporting dashboard for everyone to understand their impact and contributions to the environment. Democratizing carbon offset. Environment will be the foundation of green economy in the future with a potential market of $200 billion per year. We are all aware of the climate crisis that is happening now, primarily because of the number of population that keeps growing, the number of carbon being emitted into the air, and deforestation rates happening globally. Indonesia has committed to the Paris Agreement by submitting our NDC of 29% carbon reduction by 2030. And some businesses are actually regulated by the government to do reclamation and rehabilitation. Trees and forests are actually very effective and efficient to reduce the climate change. Many initiatives have been taken, but it is difficult to measure the success of each of the programs. Monitoring and measurement are taken manually on the field, causing ineffective and inefficient processes. We believe we need to open the access for everyone to also able to contribute easily to the program. We built a solid foundation, first a platform that helps companies and organizations to understand their direct and indirect emissions, and eventually reduce them, and they can also offset their carbon emissions on our trees and carbon offset marketplace. We provide visibility for them with our reporting dashboard, making sure the reforestation programs are successful, being measurable, reportable, and verifiable, including the measurement of carbon sequestration. We collect data in the fields using mobile, drones, IT sensors, LiDAR, and satellites, and process them using our machine learning models to generate insightful information such as water infiltration, soil and air quality, carbon storage, and biodiversity as well. This will be the embryo of the first Indonesian carbon exchange. The carbon offset market has grown quickly in the recent years and could be set for further rapid growth as countries hit the limits of decarbonization, meaning that they will have to rely on offsetting projects to achieve national and corporate climate targets. The offset market has more than tripled over the past 3 years, and it is estimated that by 2050, the addressable market size will be at $200 billion. Indonesia is blessed with its nature. We have around 120 million hectares of forests with more than 22 million hectares of peat forests. Peatland can absorb more carbon compared to the other type of forests. Indonesia potentially producing 28 billion metric tons carbon credit per year. We provide subscription model for trees and forest monitoring per hectare per year and carbon emission accounting per user per year. And we take platform fee per carbon offset transaction in the platform. I'm the CEO of the company. I have more than 15 years of experience in technology, working with Microsoft in their tech, AI, and business team. Our team in Jejakin has a mixed background from technology, business, and forest industry. We also have Pak Haris Iskandar as our Forest and Sustainability Director with more than 20 years of experience in this space. And we have Pak Peter Gonta as our advisor as well. We are looking for strategic partnership with investors and partners to accelerate the climate actions in the world. I'm Arfan. Feel free to reach out to me to discuss further on our collaboration. Thank you very much for your attention. Jejakin, saving our tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Jejakin, for focusing on accelerating carbon offset and climate actions with technology. And next, we have Scooters. It is a platform that provides end-to-end services for studying abroad purposes. Hey, Scooters.
Hi.
Hi, you're connecting with us. So excited to be hearing your presentation. So the floor is yours.
Selamat siang, saya Iko Ono, co-founder dan CEO dari Scooters. Scooters adalah platform yang membantu siapapun untuk bisa kuliah ke luar negeri. Ya, I've been really fascinated dengan ceritanya Sundar Pichai, buat yang belum tahu. Ya, Sundar Pichai saat ini adalah CEO-nya Google. Dulu dia berasal dari keluarga miskin di India. Hidup dia berubah drastis ketika dia memutuskan untuk mengambil master di Stanford di Amerika. Dan ya, the rest is history. Kalau dia tidak memutuskan untuk kuliah keluar pada saat itu, mungkin kita nggak pernah dapat cerita seorang anak India miskin bisa jadi CEO-nya Google. Itu sesuatu yang saya percaya. Bahwa spending some time abroad, kuliah ataupun kerja segala macam, itu sesuatu yang akan mengubah hidup Anda selamanya. Gitu. Nah, faktanya ketika kita melihat di Indonesia, ternyata 90% itu, kalau demand ditanya ya, 90% anak SMA tuh mau untuk kuliah ke luar negeri. Tapi kalau kita lihat angkanya, sampai hari ini, anak Indonesia yang kuliah ke luar negeri itu baru sekitar 70-an ribu, bahkan dibandingkan dengan Vietnam aja 170 ribu, jadi lebih dari setengahnya, lebih rendah. Saya berpikir, kami foundernya Scooters berpikir bahwa there must be something wrong. Ya, kok bisa orang-orang ini sebenarnya ingin, tapi ternyata mereka tidak ketemu caranya untuk bisa menjemput mimpi mereka kuliah ke luar negeri. Disitulah akhirnya kami membuat Scooters ini. Karena solusi yang ditawarkan oleh existing players hari ini, itu pertama rata-rata offline. Jadi mereka Jakarta, Bandung, Surabaya gitu ya. Kemudian yang kedua, mereka rata-rata memberikan solusi hanya ke negara-negara yang mahal kalau boleh dibilang. Sangat segmented begitu. Nah, itu bedanya kami di Scooters. Yang pertama, yang paling signifikan, what makes us different, itu kita online yang kita offer. Jadi sekarang kita sudah punya users lebih dari 300 ribu. Itu betul-betul literally dari Aceh sampai Papua itu join di Scooters. Yang kedua, yang kami tawarkan berbeda, kalau Anda join di Scooters, Anda akan dapat informasi yang transparan dan komplit. Mau kuliah di 50 negara berbeda itu bisa. Ya, informasinya dan bisa kita bantu. Jadi mau ke Jepang, mau ke Jerman, mau ke Korea dan lain sebagainya, atau bahkan kalau butuh informasi beasiswa di lebih dari 50 negara juga hal yang bisa dibantu di Scooters. Dan lastly, yang membuat kita berbeda adalah kami fokus menawarkan program persiapan. Jadi kalau masih kayak, wah bahasa Inggris saya masih jelek, oke, nggak apa-apa, kita bisa bantu improve. Nggak usah berkecil hati. Wah saya belum paham apa itu tes SAT, apa itu tes GRE dan lain sebagainya, itu hal yang bisa kita bantu. So, we try to make study abroad easier for everyone. Not only in Indonesia, tapi mimpi kita juga untuk membantu siapapun, terutama dari negara berkembang di seluruh dunia. Oke, in a nutshell, jadi prinsipnya orang users datang ke website atau app kita bantu mereka untuk explore. Oh, kamu mau ke negara mana? IPK kamu berapa? Usia kamu berapa? Ya, kemudian setelah itu kita bisa bantu kasih personalized recommendation. Oke, kamu pengen ke Jerman ya? Atau dengan kondisi seperti itu kamu bagusnya kayaknya ke Jepang atau ke Singapura atau ke Amerika. Kalau kamu pengen ke Jerman, berarti kamu harus belajar bahasa Jerman sampai level B2. Oke, itu bisa kita bantu, kita punya programnya untuk itu. Oh, kalau kamu pengen ke Jepang, kamu bisa kita improve bahasa Jepangnya, kita punya programnya. Oh, pengen ke Amerika butuh skor SAT 1300 sekian, oh kita bisa bantu kamu. Bahkan kalau mau dibantu untuk finansialnya, kayak, kita punya program installment 12 bulan untuk bayar uang kuliah dan seterusnya. Jadi kami menyebutnya kami membangun ekosistem end-to-end services yang bisa membantu teman-teman untuk membuat kuliah ke luar negeri jadi sangat mudah gitu. Ya, dan ini tim kami, CEO-nya dibantu Aziz, COO, dan CTO yaitu Mardiko. Jika Anda ingin bersama-sama dengan kami nurturing the brilliant minds of Indonesia, you can contact us di nomor HP ataupun di email yang tertera di layar. Terima kasih.
Yes, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we've already heard some of our founders present their presentations. And for those of you, all of the viewers or participants that are interested in connecting directly to the founders, you can go right ahead and chat with them via the chat box located just on the below screen of your Zoom screen. Yes, through the chat box, you can chat with them directly and connect. So, ladies and gentlemen, after the Scoters, next we have Muda. It is a bookkeeping application for small and medium-sized businesses. And let's say hello to Muda. Hello, Muda. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys. So excited to be hearing from you. So please take it away.
Almost 60% of Indonesia's GDP comes from small, medium business. However, 78% of them go bankrupt within 1 year. The main reason is because 79% of them is unbankable. Their business fund and their household fund are mixed up. So even though the sales are good, they don't know where the money goes. They have no access to capital. They have no visibility of their business. We are Muda, a simple bookkeeping application for small, medium businesses. We're helping to digitize mom and pop businesses, enabling them to track their daily account. Now, let's see how it works. Small, medium business owners can download our app in Google Play Store or Apple App Stores. After that, they only need to enter their phone number for registrations. And immediately, they can start recording their income or expense transactions using our app. They can choose their customer contacts directly from their address book, which make it very convenient. Input the amount in here, and done. They can also share their invoice to their customer via WhatsApp, which make collecting process easier. Now, the small medium business owners can see their profit or loss statement instantly. And the best part for them, our bookkeeping features is free. We only charge 1% per transactions for those using our digital payment link. We also offer a premium plan start from 30,000 rupiah. So, if you are interested in helping to digitize mom and pop businesses, let's discuss more by scanning my QR code right there. Thank you.
Mudah, making businesses lebih mudah. Thank you for your great presentation. And next, we also have Ladik Tech. It is a platform that strives to help the modern-day software engineering teams to share knowledge effectively. And let's say hello to Ladik Tech. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello. So we're so excited to be hearing from you. So please take it away. Please present your presentation.
Hi, we're from Ladik Tech, and we're here to achieve sprints through effective knowledge sharing. So what is the problem? The problem is that software engineers spend more time reading existing code rather than actually coding. This is a problem where most software engineers claim that actually knowledge sharing is their biggest challenge. Tech knowledge bases are often scattered and improperly organized. Ever had an experience where, onboarding experience where it's just code, you'll figure it out? It's all too common for us software engineers. And the solution is that we want to make a platform where engineers can convey code flow as simple as a checklist. Be a single source of truth where engineers can refer and collaborate upon. Seamless integrations with product that engineers currently use and love. This is the overview of our product. Our mission is to literate code and make knowledge transfer as easy as a checklist. We're also currently have a business model of plans, basic, startup, and enterprise, where we want to get as many users and as many engineers and product people to use our product. So here's the founders. You can reach us at hello@larictech. In today's SaaS economy, optimizing for knowledge transfer is crucial for product engineering. Thank you.
Very effective, LaricTech. Thank you so much. And next, we also have Agenkan. It is a secure lending platform for Indonesia. Let's say hello, Agenkan. How you doing?
Hello. Hi. Good. Thank you.
Very nice. So, Agenkan, please take it away.
Hi, my name is Didit. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Agenkan. Agenkan is a property-backed financing platform that provides financing for rakyat Indonesia. From what we observe, micro businesses in Indonesia are still severely underserved in terms of their financial need, both from the formal financial institutions as well as from fintech lending platforms, which are still unable to provide a sustainable solution to this issue. More than 80% of micro businesses remain to be underserved. Now, this is a quite perplexing issue because, as we all know, micro businesses is the main driver of Indonesia's economy. We have highlighted 4 key issues. The first one is the lack of data availability. As we all know, the credit data infrastructure in Indonesia is still a work in progress. Secondly, we see a low financial literacy, especially in second-tier, third-tier cities across Indonesia. A third, because of the archipelago nature of our country, the infrastructure is very challenging to be able to allow us to serve people in grassroots communities. And finally, because of all those factors, the cost of acquiring these micro businesses can be quite unscalable. Now, if we look at from the other perspective, we see that more than 1 million micro businesses default every year. The key problem is basically the access of capital, which they do not have access to at the moment. During these COVID times, we've also seen that the NPL of unsecured P2P platforms skyrocketing to up to 20%. And this is a very big problem. So what do we learn from this? The first one is that we realized that advanced technology, may it be big data, artificial intelligence, as well as machine learning, is still not yet proven to be reliable without having a credible data source to which they can assess the right credit assessment. Secondly, unsecured P2P lending platforms currently are unable to provide bigger loan ticket sizes that these micro businesses need for their working capital needs as well as their capital expenditure needs. And finally, more than 90% of these micro businesses are basically still informal. They have no legal entity. As such, it is very difficult for them to acquire financing from formal financial institutions as well as SME P2P platforms. This is where Agenkan comes in. We combine the best in credit scoring and collateral model to serve these micro business segments across Indonesia. Why do we use this PON model? We believe that PON model is proven to be the most effective way to provide financing or lending to the credit invisible, while at the same time, we can still maintain good credit quality. So as I mentioned before, we do credit scoring assessment, looking at the borrower's repayment ability and their willingness to do so. That's the first one. And secondly, we secure our loans against collaterals in this case, our property or land title, as a way to mitigate the risk of extending facility to them. Now, the property and land title in Indonesia, interestingly enough, the value has reached about 500 billion of the total land certificates issued across Indonesia. This is actually a very big amount. And based on the latest data, only less than 15% has been used for financing. So what we understand is that the mortgage penetration in Indonesia is still fairly low at only 3%, lagging behind regional peers that are already in double digit.
We, Agenkan, we launched HELOC product, Home Equity Line of Credit. So this is a property-backed financing and the first HELOC product in Indonesia for micro businesses. So there are 3 value propositions that we offer to our customers. Number 1, it is an inclusive product. Our customer can take the financing as low as $300 US, and we focus in second and third city at first. Number 2, we provide an innovative product. So our product is a revolving model, similar to a credit card. So our customer can take anytime and anywhere whenever they need it. So it doesn't take a lot of hassle for our customers. Number 3, it is fast and scalable process. They only need 3 business days to get approval to get the money in their bank accounts whenever they need it. Agenkan is founded by experienced and driven entrepreneurs. It was founded back in 2019 by Didit and me. And we are lucky enough to get a support from Pandu Shahir as well. And he is sitting as our advisor and commissioner. At the same time, we are also registered in OJK back in December 2019. And we are also lucky to get into multiple important associations as well as multiple incubators, such as Google Launchpad. So there is a lot of micro businesses out there that need our solution. So we are looking forward to partner up with you to help them. Let's build this together. Thank you.
Thank you again, Khan. Very insightful. And ladies and gentlemen, for all participants and viewers viewing and you want to interact and chat with these great tech minds directly, you can interact with them via the Zoom chat box located just below the main screen, and you can interact with them directly. And next, let us hear it from Payo Kepasar. Hello, everyone. Hello, Payo Kepasar.
Hello.
Hi, glad to be connecting with you. So please take it away with your presentation.
Halo, saya Muhammad Hatami, founder dan CEO dari aplikasi Payo Kepasar. Payo Kepasar adalah aplikasi yang menghubungkan antara pasar dan pembeli secara online. Pasar adalah jantung dari perekonomian, jadi sangat penting untuk menjaga proses penawaran dan permintaan yang terjadi di pasar, serta mendukung perkembangannya lebih lanjut. Seperti yang kita ketahui, orang-orang selalu mencari produk dengan harga termurah dan kualitas terbaik. Sedangkan produk termurah dan kualitas terbaik hanya tersedia di pasar induk di dini hari. Sangat sulit bagi orang-orang untuk pergi ke pasar saat dini hari, bukan hanya karena jarak, tapi waktu juga menjadi permasalahan orang-orang untuk bisa pergi ke pasar saat dini hari. Untuk itu, Payo Kepasar hadir mentransformasi pengalaman berbelanja di pasar dengan mengintegrasikan teknologi digital di dalam prosesnya. Kami menciptakan platform yang menawarkan produk langsung dari pasar induk dengan harga yang murah, kualitas terbaik yang akan diantarkan langsung ke rumah. Demi menjaga kualitas dari produk, kami mengirimkan pesanan di pagi hari sesuai dengan jam pengantaran yang diinginkan oleh pemesan. Kami juga mentraining shopping officer hingga piawai agar dapat memilihkan bahan-bahan terbaik yang akan diberikan kepada pembeli. Kami pun selalu mengupdate harga dan ketersediaan produk secara rutin setiap harinya untuk menyesuaikan dengan kondisi pasar yang sangat fluktuatif. Orang-orang dapat melakukan pemesanan langsung melalui aplikasi, dan dari sistem kami akan otomatis merekapnya dan akan dibelanjakan oleh shopping officer kami saat di dini hari agar bisa diantarkan ke pemesan. Kami melayani segala macam pemesanan business to customer. Untuk meningkatkan nilai transaksi, kami sedang mengembangkan konsep business to business bekerja sama dengan restoran, kafe, catering, dan F&B bisnis lainnya untuk dapat memenuhi kebutuhan dagang mereka setiap hari dengan melakukan transaksi di aplikasi Payo Pasar. Life is hard enough already. Let Payo Pasar make it a little easier with a single click. We deliver daily groceries needs to any home every morning.
How very convenient. Thank you for transforming traditional markets online. And next, let us also focus on providing financial planning and consultation services for Indonesia. Let us welcome Halofina. Hello, Halofina.
Hello.
Hi, okay, let us take it away with your presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Aji Wijaksana. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Halofina. Halofina is a fintech startup that focuses on wealth management and personal finance management. Designed for mass affluent millennials in Indonesia, we are now currently focused on delivering employee financial well-being program to corporates and organizations. The problem that we want to solve is actually the lack of financial literacy and financial inclusion. We found that a lot of people perceive personal finance management as difficult and complicated. So we aim to help our customers in managing their money better and being able to take a proper financial decision to achieve their goals in life. Eventually, it can also avoid them from scam and financial stress that can affect their productivity in the workplace. Halofina apps has several key features, which are financial education content, online financial consultation, and digital financial planning tools. We are in the process on developing integrated personal finance solution that is simple, user-friendly, and helpful. We also partner with some financial institutions to help our users in getting access to licensed financial products while helping our partners in acquiring new users. We are really grateful to have a support from Startup Studio Indonesia program, and we'll be happy to have more collaboration in enhancing financial literacy in Indonesia and empowering fintech industry in general. So let's get connected and deliver impact. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Halofina. And next, let us also go to a one-stop supply chain solution provider for D2C brands with an integrated supply chain platform with PTSSC. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Okay, we're so excited to be hearing from you. So the stage is yours and the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Dipta, and together with Agil, we started PTS.SE, an end-to-end supply chain solutions for direct-to-consumer brands, or D2C brands for short. The reason behind we started this company is because the rapid growth in e-commerce in Indonesia for the past few years has enabled a big opportunity for small and medium direct-to-consumer brands to compete and also thrive in this market. By enabling technology and embracing their creativity, we see that there is a huge, by enabling technology and embracing their creativity in their product, we're seeing a huge growth in D2C brands, particularly in the creative industry. But with growth comes bigger challenges. These brands are facing common problems, firstly being managing their operations, with increased complexity because of more sales channel, bigger warehouses, and also wider variety of suppliers. Secondly, they also face problems in cash flow management because managing their own operation is inherently have big upfront costs and also fixed operational expense. And thirdly, they are facing challenges in cost competitiveness because SMEs are small by nature, and they're struggling to compete with a bigger competitor. These three problems are what PTS.SC are trying to solve. Here are the profiles of our founders. We are 3 people, and we strongly believe by growing together, small and medium D2C brands can achieve higher and also bring more impact for a better Indonesia. Thank you.
As a solution to the problem that Dipta explained before, We are here with a set of value propositions that exactly help all of the pain points that direct-to-consumers brands have. First of all, we are here as a single point of contact to manage all of their back-end operations, starting from helping them to do sourcing, connecting them with manufacturers and raw material suppliers, handle the fulfillment and logistic activities, including all of the order management processes, and also we provide a working capital for their operations. The second one, we can convert all of the risks of fixed costs that direct-to-consumer brands have if they are trying to manage all of their back-end operations. And we can convert it into variable costs, so it's very favorable for their cash flow management. Last but not least, we can provide cost efficiency through group procurement as a consolidations of the volume that we have from all of our clients as an economies of scale. This is our business model. We have 3 different revenue models. The first one is we collect management fee from our clients' revenue. And also, we got commissions from our partners, mainly from logistic providers. So we got a percentage of clients' expense to our partners. And the last one, we got margin from every transactions of our clients spend for their procurement activities.
Thank you for the informative presentation. Nah, kepada Bapak Ibu sekalian yang ingin chatting langsung dengan The Great Founders, langsung saja ke chat box yang ada di bawah screen Zoom and you can interact with them directly. So please do not hesitate to chat with them. Nah, sekarang next let us also present to you a career support that is digitally integrated end-to-end career development platform. We got career support. Let's say hello, guys. Yes, career support, the stage is on and it is yours, so take it away.
Hi, I'm Lena, the co-founder of Career.Support. I have over a decade of HR experience in the US. Career.Support is a vertically integrated end-to-end job platform. By 2030, there will be 200 million of Indonesians looking for work. The government not only need to improve the quality of human capital in the country, they also need to help fresh grads to find jobs faster. Government is encouraging students to attend vocational schools and polytechnics, and these institutions need to better equip themselves to support the government initiative. A good school must at least have a good onboarding process, good curriculum, and a career development center. And yet, many schools overlook the importance of having a good career development center. Based on our surveys, we found that fresh grads have difficulty finding their first jobs, while many vocational schools and polytechnics do not have a career development center, let alone an online career portal. Companies want to hire fresh grads and interns, but they face the inefficiency of hiring in this sector. Overall, this is an underserved market with a huge demand. At Career.Support, we strongly believe the great domino effect of an online career portal. We create platforms to connect schools and students to companies nationally. Just imagine this scenario. A student gets a good job from their school's career center portal powered by Career.Support. With more disposable income, the student and his family will spend more. This, in turn, will improve the economy of Indonesia. Our business model includes the following: CV packages that allows company to post unlimited job posting for free and preview CV for free. Companies will only pay for contact details and photos. Companies can also purchase keywords to boost job posting. By providing online career portal to these schools, They become our publishers for ads banner. Next, we have Traces Study, the government-mandated yearly survey for schools and its alumni. Using our platform, alumni can fill out the survey online and increase response rate with better reporting, which is important for the school's accreditation. And there are additional monetization channels in progress. At Career Support, through our vertically integrated platform, we offer more features to our users than the current job portals. To learn more about us, feel free to contact me, Lena, via LinkedIn or email.
Thank you very much, Career Support. So supportive and informative. And next, let us also start with a social commerce startup empowering individuals to have earnings in the digital economy with Woobiz. Hello, Woobiz.
Hello.
Hi, I hope you guys are doing well today, and I'm sure that you're all ready for your presentation.
Hi, I'm Putri Nur Sakina, together with Rorian Pratyaksa, my co-founder. We are the initiator of Woobiz. One day, in 2018, I have a discussion with my mom about her story, heart and struggleness when she wants to start business to support our families. When we are as individuals, we know if we lack of support, lack of access, and we have a low capacity, it is hard to start something and earning income. Then we realize that this is a problem. On the day after, Rorian and I, we take a look at the data. And we found out the opportunity to helping women in the middle income segment. Over 20 million Indonesian women are struggling to supporting income for the families. But there is one big question, how to get the income and how we can help these women who just like my mom. We think about the solution. The answer is the selling activity. You can earn income by becoming individual sellers. You just have to having a self-willing, good communication, and access to the product. That's why we create Woobiz, a social commerce platform. When we become a bridging between Mitra, our resellers who need an income, and with the brand who need a distribution. That's how we want to support the nation. We want to support the nation by creating a distribution channel. We want to empower individuals, especially women. We want to empower local brands and SMEs, and also we want to build the center of education for individuals who want to start a business and who want to be financially independent. It's called Wooniversity. A Wooniversity, the institution who runs the Superwoman movement, the Mitra Success Movement.
At Woobiz, we try to deliver impact through technology, empowering individuals to have access of income in the digital economy, connecting principal brands to our Mitra and then to the end customers. How are we doing this? We're doing this by creating an integration of multiple technology, creating a cohesive platforms, starting from a commerce platform, gamification, and incentive system that could provide and act like a supervisory system. And then we also have a seller tools that provide wider reach for our Mitra, wider audience reach for their daily interaction and social media. Beyond the technology, we want it to be an ecosystem. So we created several ecosystems that will support this activity. We understand we must start from the beginning. So start from access of products. We create an aggregation of demand so we'll be able to have a better value proposition to brand principals, and we have a better price and could distribute it all throughout our network. And in the logistic part, we want to create an aggregation of distribution, so we are actively and effectively creating a better distribution network. And then we also understand the individuals need learning curve. So we provided guidance, we provided step-by-step guidance and innovative learning technology that's combining online and offline methods. Our goals is simple. We want our Mitra to advance from beginner to intermediate and to advance very effectively and the shortest time possible. If we're able to do that, we're creating a community of supportive Mitras individuals, and we'll be able to reach the same goals, the goals of having earnings for all individuals. We'll be having the same goal, having earnings from all individuals, and ultimately have financial independency for each of individuals. Finally, we would like to also invite you to join us, together making an impact, together empower the nation, berjuang bersama bisa.
Wonderful, Wubis. Thank you so much. Nah, kepada Bapak Ibu sekalian yang ingin berinteraksi dan chatting langsung dengan founders, bisa langsung ke chat box Zoom ya. Dan selanjutnya, we got a startup with a great vision to empower the Indonesian traditional markets through technology with Tumbasin. Hello, Tumbasin. Yes, Tumbas. Hi. Okay, Tumbasin, you are ready to empower us. So please take it away with your presentation.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Fuad Asbi. I am a co-founder Tumbasin. Tumbasin is a platform to shopping groceries from traditional market. We start since 2019 and now we have delivered more than 50,000 orders in 2020. We operate in 10 cities with 42 traditional markets. Why we choose traditional market? Because traditional market in the early morning have a good quality. With our platform, we guarantee the quality and we give service, fixed price, and convenient shopping groceries in traditional market. Our business model, we take 30 until 100% margin product each transaction. On the future, we hope traditional market in digital era can compete with modern market. Use our platform Tumbasin. And thank you very much.
Excellent platform. Thank you, Tumbasin. And next, we also have a platform for the cooperative ecosystem to increase connectivity between members, management, as well as government. Let's say hello to Nectico. Hello, Nectico.
Hello.
Hi, guys. So we're so excited to be hearing from you, and the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Rani, co-founder of Nectico. Nectico is a cooperative application to bring Koperasi to the digital world. Probably many people think Koperasi only as a place where you can borrow money. That is very old-fashioned. Where Koperasi is actually like a company that is owned by and serving the members. It can run multiple business units. Two of the most common ones are money lending and store. And Koperasi market is huge. In 2018, it has a 53 billion USD contribution to national GDP and has been increasing significantly in the past 4 years due to government push. Because Koperasi is actually one of the backbone of Indonesia's economy that saved the national economy during the 1998 crisis. It still has huge potential to grow, but sadly, currently its technology adoption is lagged behind because the market is still underserved. As a result, as a Koperasi management, they have to go through multiple things in managing the accounting and managing the store. For example, calculate the invoice of each members every month, generate financial report from the payment record, source and market the product that they want to sell. The process is very labor intensive and prone to human error. The product selection is limited and are only available for offline purchase. Koperasi members also face difficulties in accessing their balance information, resulting in low transparency. With Nectico, we simplify management's accounting process by providing accounting software. Hence, generating the invoice, report, and all of the other process is only one click away. Not only simpler accounting process, we also give management access to more product selection for their store, or even for Koperasi that didn't have store before. Koperasi can reach 100% of the members, and member can buy product using their saving or loan. End result, this will increase Koperasi business volume as we give more product selection and increase the demand for members' loan. Nectico provides web app for the management and mobile app for the members, bringing them to the digital world. Our product is also highly adopted with cooperative nature, which is participative community-based profit-making organization, which has different nature with banks. The real drivers of our business are the Koperasi members. We charge subscription fee for the accounting and member management module with both monthly and annual option plan. And we take profit from the margin for the store model. If you like to take part of Koperasi digital transformation or would like to know more, please reach out to us. Together, let's make Koperasi great again.
Excellent platform. Thank you, Nectico. And our next startup provides multi-channel fulfillment service for e-commerce businesses of small and medium-sized enterprises. Let us welcome KeepPack. Say hello. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello, KeepPack. So we can't wait to be hearing from you. And please present your presentation.
Hi, I'm Andrew from KeepPack. KeepPack is a multi-channel e-commerce fulfillment that helps SME by providing space, inventory management, and also order fulfillment, so they can focus on their core competency with our product and business development. So basically, KeepPack wants to solve three problems that we call as 3Fs. The first one is the space. So when the SME growing, eventually they will need a bigger space to store their product. While, unfortunately, they cannot afford to pay 2 years rental fee in advance. The second one, the stock. They don't invest in inventory management system. Even most of them doesn't have proper stock card. They don't track like expired, obsolete, even lost stock. The last one is the staff. They have to hire certain people. So let's say 2 people or 3 people to do the fulfillment process and stock monitoring. While there is so many uncertainty, like perhaps today you have 1,000 orders and tomorrow you only have like 100 orders. So how we can help the SME? The first one, that we make all those unproductive assets to become co-warehousing. So the merchant send the product to the warehouse, and then we will manage all the inventory and order fulfillment. They just integrate their sales channel to our system. This is our business model. So we have 2 revenue streams. The first one is the storage, which is start from only 50,000 per month. And also we charge per order for 3,000 per order. Our target customer is small, medium enterprise, the SME, and our main warehouse target will be the unproductive asset owner and also the property developer. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, with KeepPack. Excellent presentation. And our next one is very interesting. It is a platform that provides a tech-enabled drinking water refill station in public areas. Hello, Water Hub.
Hi, hello.
Hello, Water Hub. Your concept is beyond interesting, and I'm so interested to be hearing from you. So please take it away.
You know, I've always been a fan of Elon Musk, and I think it's because we're both into the same thing, which is aerospace engineering. But when Elon wants to bring us to Mars to find another planet to live, I guess I would actually want to ensure that we still have a planet to live, and that's why I decided to drop my master's for aerospace engineering and started WaterHub instead. Our business model is simple. When it used to be you paying 5,000 rupiah for a single bottled water, with WaterHub, you can pay 5,000 rupiah to receive 5 liters of water quota, which you can refill anyhow and anytime you want. And I'm usually the type of person who usually brings tumbler anywhere I go. And everyone in Jakarta knows that people are actually starting to bring tumbler, and simply because there's a water dispenser at our office floors. But whenever we want to go out, for example, to schools, campuses, public transportations, you name it, we never have access to actually refill our tumblers. So imagine this. What if we put water dispensers everywhere, so then whenever we want to go out, we don't have to keep on buying bottled water to refill our tumblers again and again.
Actually, we already launched our MVP in 2 locations, one at the school and one at the campuses. We see there is a sign of the product market fit there. For example, at the school, there is 1,000 students. Only in 2 weeks, we already acquire 40% of the populations. And we see there is a growth in terms of the active users, 5% each week. So it's 20% growth of active user a month. We consider them as active user if at least they are using our dispenser 3 times a week. And I want to close with this story. Before we launch, we are looking for a place that already have dispensers. It was tough because it's just a few. So we have a chance and find some high school in Jakarta. We talk and interview the principal of the school. The principal told us, Kader, do you know, in the end of the every day, there is 6 trash bin full of the plastic waste. 1 trash bin can include 100 or 150 plastic bottle. But after we put the dispensers, it becomes 3 trash bin every day. So this fact, we can see that if we provide the students the proper dispenser, students will use that. And also, dispenser can reduce 50% of the plastic waste. So WaterHub is not just about saving money or making money. WaterHub is also about saving Earth.
WaterHub, you are undoubtedly the future. Thank you for your brilliance. And our next one, it is a career-focused education platform that connects experts or institutions and students who want to start or accelerate their careers in tech. Let us welcome and say hello to Rakamin Academy. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello, Rakamin Academy. So please start your presentation.
Hai, perkenalkan nama saya Andika. Saya adalah founder dan CEO dari Rakamin Academy. Rakamin Academy lahir untuk membantu Indonesia untuk memenangkan ekonomi digital di tahun 2030 nanti. Seperti kita tahu, saat ini Indonesia sedang memasuki revolusi industri 4.0. Dan untuk memenangkan revolusi ini, kita membutuhkan supply SDM yang berkualitas. Sementara saat ini kita melihat Indonesia masih memiliki banyak masalah dari SDM kita. Dari sudut pandang industri saat ini masih sangat kesulitan untuk mendapatkan talenta-talenta yang berkualitas yang memiliki kapabilitas di bidang digital dan teknologi. Pun dari mereka-mereka yang sudah memasuki dunia kerja, ternyata hanya 46% yang sesuai dengan kebutuhan industri. Akhirnya industri masih harus sangat mengembangkan skill mereka dan membuang sangat banyak uang di sana. Di sisi lain, dari siswa-siswa kita, ternyata mayoritas pengangguran kita berasal dari lulusan sekolah vokasional maupun universitas. Padahal mereka harusnya memiliki kapabilitas paling tinggi dibandingkan yang lainnya. Hal ini terjadi karena kurikulum pendidikan kita sulit untuk menyesuaikan kecepatannya dengan perkembangan industri saat ini. Sebenarnya, kalau kita telisik lebih dalam lagi, hal ini tidak perlu terjadi. Karena ada sangat banyak expert di luar sana yang bersedia untuk mengajar, yang bersedia untuk meluangkan waktunya, membimbing siswa-siswa dengan praktik yang intensif, yang relevan dengan dunia industri. Itulah yang kami bangun di Rakamin Academy. Kami mengembangkan curated platform yang menghubungkan antara siswa-siswa yang ingin mengembangkan skill mereka dengan individual expert dari top tech company. Yang membedakan kami dengan layanan yang lainnya adalah pembelajaran kami bersifat langsung, interaktif, kemudian juga project based, kemudian kami juga memberikan pelatihan-pelatihan soft skill, pelatihan-pelatihan bimbingan karir, dan kami juga membantu mereka untuk mendapatkan pekerjaan mereka tanpa batasan waktu. Saat ini, kami mengembangkan 3 bisnis model. Yang pertama adalah B2C, di sini expert sebagai content provider kita. Yang kedua ada B2C, tetapi institution yang menjadi content providernya. Dan yang terakhir ada juga B2B, yaitu terkait dengan talent acquisition. Kami menyalurkan kerja ke perusahaan-perusahaan yang membutuhkan. Saat ini kami baru berjalan 6 bulan. Tapi dalam waktu 6 bulan, kami sudah berhasil melatih lebih dari 700 siswa di seluruh Indonesia dengan rata-rata pemasukan hingga 2,5 juta rupiah per siswa. Kami menargetkan di tahun 2021 nanti, kami mendapatkan minimum 30% monthly growth, dan kami saat ini sedang mengembangkan skalabilitas dari platform kami. Education Tech sekarang sangat berkembang dengan sangat pesat, timingnya sedang sangat pas. Kalau kita bisa mengembangkan ini saat ini, kita bisa membantu Indonesia untuk mengembangkan SDM-nya menjadi lebih baik lagi. Mari berjejaring bersama kami, mari bergabung ke dalam lingkungan kami, dan mari mengembangkan SDM Indonesia. Terima kasih.
Wonderful, Rakamin Academy. Thank you so much. And once again, we'd like to remind everyone watching, for those of you who would like to interact directly with our great founders, you can just chat with them on the chat box. Nah, selanjutnya, let us say hello to VeriHubs. It is an authentication and verification platform in Indonesia. And they built an ecosystem that help businesses authenticate their users and also to help users manage their authentication information. VeriHubs, how are you doing?
Hello, yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very, very well, thank you. And VeriHubs, please take it away with your presentation.
Hello everyone, I'm William, a CEO and co-founder of VeriHubs. VeriHubs is a data-driven authentication aggregator for Indonesia. The problem that we want to solve is about the problem of authentication. When we build a digital platform, usually we are struggling how to authenticate our users. Sometimes we are using SMS authentications, and sometimes we are using missed call authentications, or maybe biometric authentication. In Indonesia, usually the authentication that is used is about SMS authentication. However, there is problem with SMS authentication. There is low delivery rate of the SMS authentication, which is very costly for the digital platform. And when we are trying to use an alternative authentication, such as biometric or missed call OTP, usually the adoption rate of each technology is very low in Indonesia. Thus, the digital platform are struggling to find which authentication method is the best, and also which authentication method has the highest conversion rate or the highest delivery rate. And also because the authentication vendors are too many in Indonesia, sometimes they are struggling to find the best vendor on each authentication method. So we try to solve that using VeriHubs. And using VeriHubs, the digital platform can integrate with VeriHubs, and then VeriHubs is doing the remaining. We try to analyze how the authentication method is done, and also we try to help the digital platform to select the best authentication method for each different users of the digital platform. For example, myself, I'm William, living in a big city like Jakarta. I have a high adoption rate technology. Then I can use biometric authentication to verify by myself. But for people in rural areas, they are not use the biometric technology. So usually for those people, we can use the SMS authentications to help them authenticate themselves. And using VeriHubs, the digital platform can achieve highest delivery rate and also highest conversion rate, because we select the best and the optimum authentication method for each different users. What kind of the data that we use to analyze or to optimize those people? We are using the authentication background and the authentication behavior for each users. And the business model that we are trying to achieve is that pay-per authentication. And for each authentication, we charge different fee for the authentication, depends on the usage. And for example, if you only use the SMS authentication, then you can only pay for the SMS authentications. And yeah, that's all about VeryHubs. We are trying to dominate the authentication market in Indonesia, and also we are trying to be the most trusted authentication platform in Indonesia. Please feel free if you want to connect me through my email, if you want to discuss many things about the authentication problems and discuss about the authentication solution in Indonesia. Thank you. Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you, William, for VeryHub's excellent presentation. And next, let us also welcome a legal service marketplace making legal issues simpler and more affordable with Justika. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi, Amelia.
Hello. So excited to be hearing from you, and let's see your presentation.
Facing legal issues is very, very tough and difficult. And at any given moment, there are 110 million people in Indonesia facing legal issues. And sadly and very worryingly, 71% of them simply give up and do nothing. This is where Justika comes in. So with Justika, people could easily get a lawyer as easy as getting an ojek. By going inside Justika's platform, you can pay only 30,000 and then within seconds, chat with curated lawyers. After that, as the service goes on, the lawyer could provide you add-on services such as document drafting, document review, or any other services. Along as the case progresses, then the client could come back inside the platform, log in, compare in between consultations with lawyers or order any services. Simply, Justika is reinventing the way clients and lawyers interact through technology. Thank you.
Excellent presentation. Who says legal issues can be simpler? Thank you so much, Justika. And next, we also have a zero waste management startup that aims for a sustainable ecosystem via tech-based and renewable energy solutions with Recosystem. Recosystem, hello.
Hi.
Hi, so let's take it away with your presentation.
Hi, my name is Ernest Lehman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Recosystem. All eyes in sustainability, that government target to reduce landfill 30% by 2025. And there is a regulation from the financial regulators that all financial institutions and public companies need to apply sustainability financing. Meanwhile, the current condition is not ready yet. That due to mismanagement of the waste, only 9% of waste gets segregated. It makes that cost of doing responsible waste management is more than 20% compared to the conservative one. Landfills are still the preferred solution. 70% of waste still end up there. That its impact only 7% of waste recycled and well managed. And last but not least, the cost of doing waste dumping to the landfill is high due to the high transportation cost. It is more than 20 kilometers from the urban area and makes the occupancy rate of the truck only 50% because due to long queue that are almost 20 hours spent for just waste. So Recosystem provide products about Recosystem Waste Hub. So this is the waste station to segregate waste, treat waste based on its type, and adding value for each waste collected. This product will upgrade the service from the user, from the conservative one, into the responsible waste management because every waste treated eco-friendly. Second, it will help improve productivity of our partner, the waste pickup services companies, because they will reduce their travel costs because the location of the waste hub will be in each sub-district, and then also improve their occupancy rate because there is no longer time spent for just queuing in waste disposal. And last but not least, it also generates the circular economy and improve the value in the waste value chain because the inorganic waste will be segregated and match-made with the current player in the waste value chain, and then the organic waste will be converted into the valuable item, the biogas, to electricity for utilization of the operation in the waste hub, and then the biofertilizer for helping the social and municipality. So our business model is like this. So we connected each stakeholder through the waste hub. So we will take charge for every waste disposal from our partner to the waste hub. So the waste will be treated and processed eco-friendly compared with the current conservative one. Second, every waste collected will be value. The organic waste will be support the operation for all electricity usage, and then the inorganic one will be made into the current aggregator, waste bank, recycling center, and we will take charge for them. Last but not least, we also open for sustainability financing for the financial institution and public companies. Instead of just doing CSR, they can support and funding our waste hub and can get the data from all operation in the waste hub for their sustainability reports. And this is founded by two founders, me, Ernest, as the business person, and Joshua as the ops guy. And you can scan the QR code for our company profile or contact me directly through WhatsApp, mobile phone, or email, or just follow our social media. So that's all about Recosystem. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Ernest. Thank you with Recosystem. And our next one, it is a startup with great vision to powering logistics for e-commerce business. We got, last but not least, ByteShip. Hello, ByteShip.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, ByteShip, please take it away with your last presentation of the day. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Mirza. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ByteShip. Today, I'm going to take you to online shipping world. When it comes to shipping, there's two major pain points. First, logistics market is fragmented, meaning that there's so many players offering different advantages and different capabilities. And we only knew few of them. We only knew probably 30 of them right now, like GoSend, GNE, Tiki, only the big ones. But what we don't know is actually there's 500 more of them that is happening in Indonesia right now. And they're also not so bad. We can also rely on them. So it's good for sellers because they can have options to deliver their stuff. And it's good for customers as well because they can have option when they buy their goods. But then for the platform builder, it's hard for them to choose because they need to choose the most reliable ones. And what we don't forget is that they want to build something that is fast and also something that is easy, which leads to the second problem. Their online tools are not accessible for developers, meaning that developers, they need to run through all the legals, all the papers, and jump into different division to integrate with their platform. So it's hard for developers because what developers want is that they build as fast as they can without many human interaction. So our solution is that we build a platform that connects to third-party logistics, most of them via API connection, and then make them as a single platform. We standardize the API, we standardize all of the logistics, and also we standardize all of the documentation that is needed for developers to create. So at ByteShip, we provide a platform where developers can create many different things, create beautiful things on top of our logistic infrastructure. And our platform as well is that our platform can connect to multiple different e-commerce websites like Shopee, Tokopedia, and also web store builders like Shopify and WooCommerce. And our business model is quite simple. We take 10 to 40% margin from each transaction, and there's a monthly subscription fee for developers. So right now, we have many third-party logistics connected through our platform, and then they offer different margins as well. but ranging between 10 to 40%. And then our platform, again, it's connected to the marketplaces and also web stores, which developers can pay a monthly subscription fee. Also, sellers can also pay monthly subscription fee to explore these many logistics providers in Indonesia. Our founding team consists of 2 people. Right now, there's me. I'm the CEO and co-founder and working in multiple hats. Most of our time, we're very passionate on building this logistic infrastructure. And also there's Afra. We spend most of the time in college, and after college, I spend mostly in consulting, and Afra doing research for multiple firms. And right now, we are very passionate in solving this logistic infrastructure problem because we know that right now, it's hard for developers and sellers to connect their platform to the existing logistics providers. So I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Well, Bachip, such excellent presentation. Thank you very much. Itu dia presentasi dari 20 startup batch pertama Startup Studio Indonesia di Milestone Day. And we have concluded and come to the end of their great presentations. I'm sure that your mind is as blown as I am. Now, we'd like to once again congratulate you for your perseverance, for your talent, and for your creativity and your passion. This right here, the Milestone Day, is undoubtedly your one step closer to success, and together, let us go the extra mile. But before we take our first step to go the extra mile again, mari kita foto terlebih dahulu. Kita akan group foto bersama, and we're going to have 3 photo sessions, and I'm going to count down to 3. Our organizers are ready. And guys, everyone that's participating, I'd like to invite all of you. Yes, hello everyone, looking good. And now on the count of 3, our organizers will screenshot the screen. Are we ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and our second one. 3, 2, 1. And our last capture. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone. Such great presentations. We'd like to thank you for your creativity as well as your talent and, of course, passion. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see this on the screen and on your screen as well, it is the QR code for your feedback form. We'd like to ask you to please fill out the feedback form and tell us about what you think of this incredible Milestone Day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude the end of the presentation sessions as well as our event, we'd like to once again, on behalf of our host, the ministry, like to extend our profound gratitude and sincere thanks to everyone for your participation and for your attendance here today. Without your support, this event would not be possible. Kami mengucapkan terima kasih sebesar-besarnya atas kehadiran dan juga partisipasi Anda dalam acara yang sangat luar biasa ini. And we'll see you again on our next event. Terima kasih banyak dan sampai jumpa.